All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to talk about how artificial intelligence is completely reshaping the way brands understand and connect with, well, all of us. So, have you ever been scrolling online and then bam, an ad pops up for something you were just thinking about? It's kind of spooky, right? But it's not magic. It's the power of AI-driven personalization, and it is a massive, massive business. And when I say massive, I really mean it. Check this out. Companies that totally nail real-time personalization, they can see their revenue jump by up to 40% compared to companies that don't. That number right there, that's the money talking. It's what's driving this whole revolution. So how on earth does it actually work? Okay, so first up, let's pull back the curtain on this whole digital intuition thing. We're going to see exactly how the internet seems to know you so well by looking at the tech that's making it all happen. And to do that, we've got to step inside what I like to call the AI engine room. Now, this isn't just one single piece of technology. No. It's a whole combination of powerful tools all working together to spot patterns in our behavior. At the very heart of it all, you've got machine learning. Just think of it as the ultimate pattern finder. It's designed to sift through these just enormous mountains of data to find connections that a human analyst, well, they might never, ever spot. It's the engine that learns what to do directly from the data itself. Okay, but what about all the stuff we write, our actual words? Well, that's where natural language processing, or NLP, comes into play. This is the tech that lets an AI read, interpret, and actually understand human language. We're talking everything from product reviews to tweets to those customer support chats. It literally turns raw opinions into valuable, structured data. And this whole process gets incredibly specific. It's not just about, counting words. It's about pulling out the actual meaning. So, for example, it can figure out the feeling behind a review. Is it positive or negative? That's sentiment analysis. It can understand what a customer is trying to do with intent detection. And it can even pinpoint the exact product features people are buzzing about, good or bad. So once the AI kind of understands you, the next step is to group you. And there are two main ways this happens. On one hand, you have clustering. Think of this as pure discovery. You're basically telling the AI, hey, look at all these people and find natural groups we didn't even know existed. But then you have classification, which is more like sorting. It uses what it already knows to say, okay, does this new person fit into the bargain hunter category or the luxury shopper category? And where does all this information come from? Well, it comes from us. It's powered by the digital footprints we leave pretty much everywhere we go online. Every single click, every purchase, every like on social media, every email we open, it all becomes a piece of the puzzle, another bit of data feeding these incredibly sophisticated AI models. Okay, so that's the theory, right? That's the how it works part. But what does this actually look like out in the wild? Let's take a look at how two of the biggest brands on the planet are putting this exact tech into practice every single day. And first up, of course, we have to talk about the undisputed king of e-commerce recommendations, Amazon. Their whole system is just a masterclass in using AI to predict what you're going to want to buy next, sometimes even before you know it yourself. So how do they do it? Well, it's really a multi-pronged attack. They use something called collaborative filtering. That's the classic, people who bought this also bought magic. Then there's content-based filtering, which shows you products similar to what you've looked at. And on top of all that, they use deep learning to analyze literally everything else. Your clicks, how long you look at something, even the time of day you're shopping. And the result of all this high-tech wizardry? Get this, a staggering 35% of everything sold on Amazon comes directly from these AI-powered recommendations. We're talking hundreds of billions of dollars, all driven by these predictive algorithms. All right, next up, Netflix. This is a company whose entire business model really hinges on one thing, keeping you watching. For them, personalization isn't just about selling you a product. It's about making sure you never, ever want to hit that cancel subscription button. And Netflix goes way beyond just suggesting another action movie. They create thousands of these tiny micro-segments based on your actual behavior. So maybe you're a weekend binge watcher of quirky international comedies. Their AI knows that. It even looks at things like how fast you scroll through the options to figure out what's catching your eye. It's that detailed. And the impact here is just immense. Netflix has said that a full 80% of what people watch on their platform is discovered through their recommendation engine. So think about that. The AI isn't just suggesting what to watch, it's actively shaping the culture of what becomes popular. But this kind of incredible power, it obviously comes with some serious responsibility. As these systems get better and better at knowing us, it naturally brings up some really tough questions about fairness, bias, and what it means to use all this data responsibly. It really creates this crucial balancing act, right? On one side, the goal is to create a perfectly helpful and convenient experience for you. But on the other side, the risk is a system that, if it's not managed super carefully, could lead to some pretty bad unintended consequences. Things like unfair pricing or showing ads that just reinforce old stereotypes. And look, this isn't just some philosophical debate. There are real-world rules of the road here. Regulators like the Federal Trade Commission in the US have made it crystal clear. Companies are on the hook for what their algorithms do, even if the outcome was unintentional. You can't just say, oh, the algorithm did it. That's not an excuse. So, if you're a business thinking about this, how do you actually harness all this power responsibly? Well, it's definitely not about just flipping a switch. It takes a really strategic step-by-step approach. A successful rollout really follows a clear roadmap, kind of like this one. It all starts with assessing your situation and auditing the data you have. Then you build that technical foundation. Often that means setting up a customer data platform, a CDP, to get all your information in one place. From there, you can go for some quick wins and then expand. But the most crucial part, notice that last step, ongoing, the job is never done. Optimization, bias auditing, refining your models, that stuff has to happen constantly. Okay, let's zoom out for a second. We've covered the tech, we've looked at some huge real-world examples, and we've touched on the challenges. So what does this all mean? What are the big takeaways here for the future of our digital lives? Well, it really boils down to a few crucial things. First, you have to build a strong foundation with your own data, what we call first-party data. Second, you have to be transparent with your customers about how you're using it. Third, you've got to be actively auditing your systems to hunt down and prevent that algorithmic bias. And maybe most importantly, you have to remember that the real goal here is to build a relationship based on trust, not just to manipulate a quick sale. And that really leaves us with one final big question to chew on. When this personalization tech gets perfect, when it knows exactly what we want, right when we want it, where does our own choice begin? What happens to happy accidents and stumbling upon something new? It's a huge question, and one we're all going to be answering together. Thanks for watching.